is a very warm day here in Toronto, and the people out on the lake enjoying a fine evening boating. And inside Rogers Centre will be the final game of this series. Minnesota and the Blue Jays have split the first two games of this series, and both have been one-run games. The Blue Jays now have improved their one-run record to 11-17, but they had snapped a streak of losing one-run games. Last night, Ron Gardenhire, Orlando Hudson had a big night at the plate, just a double shy of the cycle. And Hudson comes in here with an awful lot of motivation playing against some of his former teammates. Take a look at the Twins lineup. Delvin Young has been on fire. He's got a 7-game hit streak, hitting .423 during that stretch. He has truly become a totally different hitter than we have seen in the past, and Delvin Young has made some very positive adjustments at the plate.
Yeah, he's spread out just a little bit more. He's tracking the ball. He's always been very strong, but now it looks like Delvin Young is getting his lower half into his swing, and his numbers really show. He leads the team in RBIs. He hit his 10th home run in last night's game, and you're right, he really looks like a force in that lineup for Minnesota.
Brett Cecil will make the start against Minnesota. He had a 5-game win streak, and now he is trying to snap a 3-game losing streak.
This will be his 15th start of the season, trying to win for the first time since he beat the Rays back on June the 10th. Last time out, a little bit better, pitching against a very tough Yankee team in New York. Cecil gave up 4 hits and just 1 earned run. The problem was his 6 walks. Really jumped his pitch count up to 96, and he was finished after 6 innings. He gave up 2 runs in 6 innings and a 3-2 win over Minnesota last season. That was his only appearance versus the Twins in his career. Scouting report for the young left-hander. He needs to pitch off his fastball. A lot like Mark Zebchinski in last night's game. He needs to establish that early in the game, and with that, he'll have a consistent off-speed pitch. If he does that, he'll be fine. His curveball, changeup, and slider are very important. And for him, being down in the zone is so important. He's been doing a few drills in between his starts to help him get down in the strike zone. The fastball's just been leaking up a little bit, and he's been getting hurt that way.
Take a look at the defense behind Brett Cecil. He'll be anxious to put that adjustment into use tonight. There's a look at the defense behind Cecil.
Lewis Wells and Bautista in the outfield. Welcome back Aaron Hill after missing 3 games. He is back at his usual position at second base. Behind the plate tonight, Jose Molina will get the start. He will catch Brett Cecil. Tonight, Aaron Hill again back after 3 days off. 4 days and 3 games back in the lineup tonight.
He and Vernon Wells have been dealing with that food poisoning and finally feels strong enough to get back in the lineup. Leadoff batter tonight, Jason Repko, getting his first start in this series. Bernard Span, the regular leadoff man, gets the night off against the left-handed Brett Cecil. The fastball down in the zone. That evens the count of the ball on the strike.
Trying to get some of the players off the turf has been Ron Gardenhire, trying to get Span a day off.
Third base, foul ball. Encarnacion caught the ball in foul territory. Third base umpire Jim Wolf had a good eye at it, and Encarnacion's momentum into foul territory. Bernard Span has become a very good leadoff hitter, and certainly done a great job of driving in runs. He's got 37 driven in for the season.
Yeah, lefties don't matter to him, but they got to get him off this turf. Ron Gardenhire talked about that when they came into this series, that there's a few guys he wants to give some days off, save their legs as they head into the All-Star break.
A ball and 2 strikes. Broken bat, little humpback liner to third base, 1 out here in the first. But Cecil got that ball inside to Repko and picks up a quick out.
I think that's a very good sign that he can jam the first batter of the game. Brett Cecil's been working on the side, trying to get that downward plane with his fastball. Felt like he was really spinning off of his pitches and falling off to the side. And when he does that, the arm can't catch up and the ball has been up. That has been his problem his last 3 or 4 times out.
Former Blue Jay Orlando Hudson makes the first pitch outside. Hudson 3 for 8 in the series against the Blue Jays. Switch hitter batting right-handed. 4th home run of the season came in the 4th inning. A 2-run home run. Good changeup, and there's the movement they want to see from Brett Cecil with that changeup.
To the right-handed batters, they don't want to see the changeup floating away from the batter. They want it over the plate, but they want to see it go down. That's one of his best changeups we have seen in his last few starts.
Bouncing ball, chopped to third, and Encarnacion on the move, makes a good throw to first to retire Hudson. Good play by Encarnacion on that big bouncing ball at third.
With those right-handed batters and the good sinking action Cecil has on his fastball and his action on his fastball, you're going to get a lot of balls on the ground. Encarnacion makes a nice play. Comes in hard and then makes an accurate throw to Overbay.
Now with 2 outs, Joe Mauer will step in. Tonight, Mauer's the DH. He basically gets the night off from the rigors of catching. Fastball inside. They have tried to establish that inside fastball to the Twins DH. Average just over 300. Breaking balls in there for a strike. Joe Mauer's power numbers are down a bit. You see just 4 home runs hit this season. A little bit of an adjustment for him playing in the new home of the Twins. Another inside fastball missed the inside corner.
A couple of years ago they talked about Mauer's power. Is he ever going to have it? But he makes such good adjustments, and I think he's such a good hitter that he understands what he needs to do. And if he wanted to go out there every year and hit 35 home runs, he could do that. That's the type of player he is. His average might suffer a little bit because of that, but he is just a good hitter.
Now he's won 3 batting titles. Last year he had 365 and 28 home runs. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ground ball to second. Aaron Hill is there. Easy play. Good inning for Brett Cecil. 3 up, 3 down. Top half of the first. Gonzalez and Bautista. Jose Bautista's got his timing back. He's staying in the big part of the diamond, going back up the middle over the last 9 games. He's at over 300. A couple of doubles, a couple of home runs, and driven in 5. Vernon Wells got the big RBI double in last night's game, drove in the decisive run. Lind Hill back in the lineup. Overbay, Encarnacion, and Molina to face Scott Baker. Fred Lewis jumps on the first pitch and hits it foul. One guy sitting down there in the seats all by himself and almost got hit.
Almost wasn't paying attention.
And he better get the ball. Yeah. There you go. What a way to start the game. Lewis behind the ball and the strike. Inside fastball, 1-1. Scott Baker 7-7 on the season, making his 17th start for Minnesota. Popped on the left side.
Baker is hoping to build on one of his better starts. He held Tampa Bay to 1 run in 7 innings, chalked up 8 strikeouts. He beat the Rays for his 7th win. His ERA is at almost 5. He has had his trouble with the Blue Jays in his career. 3 career starts versus the Jays, looking for his first win. And if you look at his splits, the home and road splits, they are incredibly different.
Fred Lewis jumps on a high fastball, hits it high, hits it deep to right field. This ball is out of here. Fred Lewis, his 5th home run of the season. A leadoff home run to put the Jays on top 1-0.
One of the problems that Scott Baker has had this year, especially when he pitches on the road, is his inability to get the ball down. And he pays for it against the first batter of the inning. Fred Lewis picks on a pitch. Watch where this one is. Right around the letters, and he gets on top of it and drives it to right field. And the ball's been really carrying here at Rogers Center this series.
3rd leadoff home run of the season for Fred Lewis. Off-speed pitch. Hit to third base. Danny Valencia throws out Alex Gonzalez, 1 out.
Well, it took 2 batters last night to hit the Blue Jays' first home run. It takes 1 tonight. Here's the scouting report for Scott Baker. He's got a good moving fastball. Throws at about 90, 92 miles an hour. Lay off the curveball because he has a good one. More sliders than curveballs, but he'll use the curve as a strikeout pitch. And he's got a quick cutter that acts like a slider. So good off-speed pitch, a decent fastball. His problem is a lot like Brett Cecil. Get the ball down.
Jose Bautista takes a breaking ball for a strike. Bautista heating up, as we mentioned, had 2 hits and 2 walks in last night's game. Pops this one up, back behind home and out of play. Bautista had that dramatic inside the park home run in the 5th inning with 2 outs. A 2-run inside the park.
He got his sprints in last night, didn't he? Goes around the bases for that inside the park home run. Needed some oxygen. Then scored from first base on that long double by Vernon Wells.
0-2. Breaking ball in the dirt. Dwayne Murphy, the hitting coach, is really pleased with the way Bautista has kind of gotten back his focus, staying up the middle, big part of the diamond, not thinking so much about pulling the ball. On the ground. J.J. Hardy has it. Goes over to Cuddyer, 2 down.
There's that nice little cut slider, if you will, from Baker, and he gets the ground ball out of it. Defensively for Minnesota tonight, lots of changes in the lineup. Ripko will give Span a day off in center field. Danny Valencia at third base. Michael Cuddyer will come in from right field and play first base. He has started 3 different positions in this series. He started at third, right field, and now with Justin Morneau out, will get the start at first base.
6th start of the season for Cuddyer over at first. Vernon Wells jumps on the first pitch, gets jammed. Hudson from the shortstop side of second throws Wells out. The Blue Jays get a run on the board off Scott Baker. consistency and take a look over the last 25 seasons. 2 managers, Tom Kelly, Ron Gardenhire, and 7 playoff appearances.
Tom Kelly really set the bar and set it going straight in 1986 when he took over. Ron Gardenhire has been even better. Look at all the wins, the winning percentage, and the playoffs. Tom Kelly's influence is still felt in this Minnesota Twins organization. He is working with the minor league coaches to coach them the way the Minnesota Twins do things.
Michael Cuddyer jumps on the first pitch and hits a high pop-up in the left field. Fred Lewis is there, first out of the second inning.
And that's so important when you have that consistency from day to day, year to year, generation to generation. The Minnesota Twins, by no accident, they're always in the playoffs.
Ron Gardenhire started managing in the Minnesota farm system in 1988 and became the third base coach for the 91 World Series team. Bench coach in 95, first base coach 96, 97, and 98. Back to third base in 99. So you can see what we're talking about with the consistency.
What a smooth transition from Tom Kelly to Ron Gardenhire.
Yeah, and certainly Tom Kelly's influence, as you mentioned, is still very palpable. You know he's around. You know when you watch the teams play, and Ron Gardenhire will acknowledge it.
There is a certain way the Minnesota Twins go about their business and do their thing.
High drive, center field. Vernon Wells breaking it down just in front of the warning track. He's there. 2 quick outs. Blue Jays lead 1-0. Fred Lewis with the leadoff home run in the first. A high, majestic home run to right field. First pitch strike to Jason Kubel. Kubel was the DH in last night's game. He moves out to right field again. He's been in right 2 of the 3 games here. Another pop-up, center field. Vernon Wells, medium depth. 3 fly ball outs in the second. Just 6 pitches for Brett Cecil. .590 tomorrow. The Red Sox are in town. 7:07 start. Pre-game fan fest, patio party, and player autograph session. All begins before the game. For tickets, call 416-341-1234. Or you can log on to BlueJays.com or stop by most Rogers Plus locations. Honda Fan Fridays. Red Sox in town for a 3-game series. Adam Lynn takes the first pitch outside from Scott Baker. 1 for 4 in last night's game. In talking with Dwayne Murphy about many of his hitters, the one thing that he thinks Lynn has to do, much like Bautista, is get back up the middle, focus on the opposite field, and stay on the ball longer.
A little bit too pool conscious.
trying to pull a little bit too much, but that's a natural reaction when a hitter goes through a bit of a slump. You want to do things hard. You do things to the pull side where you've always had the most success. But that's not been the case for Lynn. He's always been better opposite field. It's jammed on that inside fastball. But talk about how a batter can fall back into that pull side and really create problems for himself.
Well, if they start throwing the ball inside a lot more, and I think pitchers have really tried to jam Adam Lind at times, you start saying, okay, I got to get this ball off of me. I've got to get it out in front.
Long drive right field. He got that one out. Off the second, then face it. Adam Lind, number 11. 2-0 Blue Jays.
See, as soon as we say you got to get the ball out in front, get it off of me. That looked like a breaking ball right down and in to Adam Lind. A spinning breaking ball over the middle of the plate right into his sweet spot. There it is, down and into a lefty, and he got the head out on that one. Said, not tonight.
Boy, what a drive, and the pitch was down, but he was able to drop the head on it and hit it right on the nose. Line drive left field, Aaron Hill. Blue Jays are jumping on Scott Baker early. Good to see Aaron Hill get off to a good start tonight, back in the lineup.
You look at the splits that Scott Baker has had on the road. 1-5 with an ERA of 6.5. And you say, how can it be so bad when his splits at home, 6-2 with an ERA just around 3, are so good? And I think ballparks play a big part of that. Target Field is a great pitcher's ballpark. Very deep to left center field, to right center field. He's a fly ball pitcher. That works to his advantage at home, but when he comes on the road in these homer havens like Rogers Center, he really has his troubles.
Lyle Overbay takes a first pitch breaking ball for a strike. Overbay 1 for 4 in last night's game. His average up to 244, and he's really been swinging very aggressively.
Early in the count, which I think is really important for him.
High fly ball left field. This ball is carrying. Delman Young drifting on it. Now he's camped on the warning track and makes the catch. Tell you what, the ball is jumping tonight.
Yeah, it certainly is, from the foul lines out to the power gaps. And this is what we were talking about with Scott Baker. Look at the number. Opponent's batting average of .325 while he is on the road. 10 home runs allowed on the road coming into this game. You can throw 2 more on there. 10 of them have been solo home runs. June has not been a good month for him.
Well, lately, since we have moved into July, around baseball, the ball's been flying out of ballparks. Last night in the major leagues, there were 47 home runs hit. That's the highest single-day total this year. No balls and a strike off the plate. In back-to-back days, the major league hitters have hit 89 home runs. So just another sign pitchers are starting to wear down a little bit. Hitters are getting a little more comfortable, and the ball's jumping with the hot air. Bullet to left field. Edwin Encarnacion has a hit in his first at bat. Right now, Scott Baker's not fooling the Blue Jays.
He certainly isn't. You better not throw a low ball to Edwin Encarnacion. He has ripped every one of those pitches that have been down in the strike zone. Your standard low ball hitter, and he ripped that one into left field. Rick Anderson, the pitching coach for Minnesota, is going to come out and have a word with this young starter.
Well, he's got the young Drew Butera behind the plate, too, and probably got to talk a little bit about pitch selection, maybe pitching inside a little more. Joe Mauer gets the night off. He's the DH, and Butera is the backup catcher. Gets the call tonight with Scott Baker working.
I had a nice talk with Burt Blyleven, who does the TV with the Minnesota Twins, and I was asking him about his young pitchers and what their problem is when they go on the road. And he was telling me, he said, A good fastball down and away is probably the best pitch. And right now, all their young pitchers have been elevating the fastball. Down and away, he thinks is the best pitch that you could throw to a right-hander.
There's one down and away, and he gets ahead of Jose Molina. Molina wasn't so sure about that, but he is behind Scott Baker. Oh, no balls and a strike. One out here, runners at first and second. Another fastball down and away for a strike.
You can establish inside, or you can pitch inside just to show them. But that fastball down and away for a hitter, you know it. That is a hard pitch to control as a hitter. Do something with it.
Oh and 2. They went down and away again. Buter wants to talk about it with Baker. Well, you think about it. For a right-handed batter, that down and away fastball is the farthest pitch away from your eyes. And it's the one that you have to make a judgment on. It's just physics. It's a matter of that's the one you really have to have good mechanics, good approach, and good balance to hit.
And that's what Bert was saying. He said, whenever I was missing with my fastball down away. It was always the hardest pitch for me to control to get it away from a right-hander. Up and away, guys can handle that. But down and away is awfully tough.
Another 0-2 pitch. Up and away, laid off. Even that one there is a good example of a hitter being able to see it because it's higher. It's on your eye level. Again, down and away around the knees and lower. It's just a tough pitch to identify and recognize. Blue Jays have scored a run here in the second. First and second, one out. Lifted into center field, and Repko got a late break. Slide, can't make the catch. Encarnacion to second, beats the throw into second. Good job by Encarnacion. He got over halfway to second, recognizing that could be a tough play for the center fielder. And when Repko took it on a hop, Encarnacion beat the throw into second.
You have to go at least halfway. If you don't, you are going to be an out at second base. Good recognition of where that ball was going to fall out into no man's land in the short center field. Jose Molina saying, get down, get down. It does, bounces off the glove. And the Jays have him loaded.
For Fred Lewis, who's already gone deep here tonight. Another good rip at a high fastball. It's about the same spot that fastball he hit out of the ballpark was. High fastball out over the plate. Four hits in the inning. Bases loaded, just one out.
You talked about a high fastball. Look at that one. That's Tomahawk City right there. Get on top of it. You do that, create that backspin, which Fred Lewis does, and quickly 1-0 for the Blue Jays.
Fred Lewis had a big triple in last night's game. Another elevated fastball. So we have seen this from both Slowey and now Baker, where they want the Blue Jays to chase that high fastball.
Throwing it up there for a purpose, for a reason, to try and get him to swing at it.
Fred Lewis spoiled that strategy in his first at bat. Off speed pitch. Lewis strikes out.
Baker came into this game with 91 strikeouts on the season. That time he comes up with a short breaking ball, bounces it up there, and Lewis swings over the top. The first strikeout of the night for Baker.
So two down now. Bases still loaded for Alex Gonzalez. Gonzalez went after an off-speed pitch and grounded to third his first time up. Blue Jays lead it 2-0. Breaking ball for a strike. Gonzalez hit his 16th home run of the season in the first inning in last night's game. That came with 1 out. Just foul down the third base line. Adam Lynn with a deep home run to start the second. And Hill had a single to left. With 1 out, Encarnacion singled to left. Molina blooped a single in. And now there are 2 outs for Gonzalez. No balls and 2 strikes. Fly ball deep center field. This ball is going to get down. It'll clear the bases. Up against the wall. Here comes Molina around third. The relay back to the infield. No throw to home. Molina scores easily. Alex Gonzalez has cleared the bases with a double to the wall in center field. His 23rd double of the season. Blue Jays lead it 5-0.
With runners in scoring position and 2 outs, Alex Gonzalez is hitting over 350. Ron Gardenhire can't believe that 0-2 pitch caught so much of the plate to allow Gonzalez to pick up his 2nd hit this year with the bases loaded. We talked about fastballs down and away. This one is up and away, right in the eyes of Gonzalez. He just flicks the bat out there and drives it to right center field, clearing the bases. Jays have now put up 5 runs here, and we're only in the 2nd inning.
Well, we had talked about the Twins pitchers trying to elevate that fastball. Blue Jays have picked up on that pattern, and Gonzalez cashed it in. Jose Bautista cuts on the first pitch, a breaking ball. Well, the Blue Jays need to have a laugher. This has been back and forth in the first 2 games of this series. They lost the opener 7-6 and won in last night's game 6-5. Oh, 2.
They have played a lot of back and forth games. That whole series in New York, the games are very close, very exciting, extra inning games. They come home, they do the same thing with Minnesota.
Another 0-2 pitch upstairs. He just missed it. Alex Burnett loosening up for the Twins early on. We're only in the 2nd.
Ron Gardenhire can just sit and watch it. One of the things I think he is seeing from his starter Baker tonight is his inability to get the ball down, and I think it's the lower half is going a little bit too quick tonight.
Ball in the dirt, blocked by Butera.
The arm hasn't had a chance to catch up, so everything has been up in the strike zone. We talk about Brett Cecil and that downward plane movement, trying to get the downward movement from the ball as he releases it towards home plate. You can see where Baker's pitchers are going. Everything is right on that hitting plane.
Brett Cecil likes what he's seeing from his hitters tonight. Staked to an early lead. Breaking ball. Tapped foul. Bautista, great season. He's rewarded with a trip to the All-Star game, and just over the last 7 games we've seen him hit over 300. His timing is coming back. He's starting to hit the ball more consistently. Fastball down and away. Let's check in with Sam Cosentino.
Buck, you talk about the timing, and with Robinson Cano pulling out of the home run derby, I asked Jose Bautista in our post-game interview last night if he would participate in the home run derby. There's been a lot of speculation about whether or not that hurts a hitter's timing. Bautista said he'd gladly participate if asked.
A ball and 2 strikes to Bautista with 22 home runs, and you had talked about Bautista, his approach during batting practice. He's not one of those high fly ball home run kind of guys. So the home run contest would be kind of interesting for him.
It's really fun to watch him in batting practice because he's a professional hitter. He asks the batting practice pitcher to work balls away from him so he can learn to stay on it and drive balls to right center field. And then move the ball in a little bit and work on pulling the ball a little bit. He's not just up there swinging hard.
Bouncing ball to third. Danny Valencia. Long throw across the diamond to get Bautista. But the Blue Jays with Alex Gonzalez. Run in the first on Fred Lewis' solo home run, and then scored 4 runs on 5 hits in the second. A solo home run by Adam Lind and a 3-run double by the shortstop Alex Gonzalez. Brett Cecil working with a comfortable lead. That was a first pitch strike to Danny Valencia.
Certainly takes the pressure off of a young pitcher, doesn't it? When they get a big lead like that, they can work that fastball, jump ahead early, knows the hitters aren't going to go up there hacking away, making outs.
Valencia batting .327 with 2 RBI. But the one thing Cecil has to guard against is just getting too fastball happy and continue to make his pitches. There's a good changeup down and away. That's pretty effective. A ball and 2 strikes on the leadoff batter here in the third.
It's one of the things that Cecil has said, that he lost the feel of his changeup, that ability to throw it. And remember that game he had in Cleveland? He had a great changeup working in that game.
Up the end of the bat. Well, we talked about inexperience in young pitchers and how they can really give you a roller coaster ride over the course of a season. Brett Cecil won 5 in a row, and now he's lost 3 in a row. And it's almost as if he's having trouble figuring out how he won those 5 in a row. But that's the job of the pitching coach and the bullpen coach, Bruce Walton and Rick Langford, and they've been trying to make some adjustments.
And that's part of it, making adjustments. I think learning about yourself and learning the league, figuring out what you need to do in situations when you get in trouble.
Up and away, full count.
What this is all about. I think Cito Gaston does a good job of that. Rick Langford told me that today, that he felt that Cito does a good job of letting his pitchers, when they get in trouble, figure it out. Figure out how to get themselves out of trouble. It's a great thing to have.
Popped up behind home plate. Molina will give it a look, but it's back behind the screen.
When your manager shows confidence in you as a young pitcher, you get yourself in a little trouble, and he's going to let you go out there and try and figure it out.
I think we saw that in Ricky Romero's first start of the season down in Texas. Romero threw a wild pitch to allow the first run of the ball game to score in the 7th inning. Ricky was ready to hand the ball over to Cito when he visited the mound. Cito said, "This is your game. Finish it." I love that. Full count. Fly ball center field. Brendan Wells will back up. Got plenty of room and makes the catch. Four straight fly ball outs recorded by Brett Cecil. He's had the bottom part of this order out on that front foot early on. Now the shortstop, J.J. Hardy, takes the first pitch up out of the zone for a ball. Hardy started in the game last night at shortstop, went 1 for 4. With a strike on the corner. Watching Jose Molina behind the plate, it really gives the pitcher a great visual of that target. He really presents it in a very aggressive position. Kind of emphasizes the glove, says, "Here, throw it here." Really puts his judgment on the line.
And wherever he has gone, pitchers have said they love throwing to Jose Molina because he's so nimble back there. He's got very soft hands. He presents a great target.
Hit hard to right field. Bautista's got a long run. This ball is over his head off the wall. J.J. Hardy is around first, headed into second base, and he'll get there with a stand-up double. Hardy going the opposite way, picks up the first hit of the night for Minnesota.
Just 150 at-bats for J.J. Hardy because of some injury problems, but that's what he brings to the table. A shortstop who can hit the ball a long way and has extra base pop. It is back. Came over from Milwaukee, where he had some big numbers.
Well, this is an interesting picture. On the left, Blue Jays scout Sal Butera, his daughter Alex, and his wife Gina, all here to watch their son Drew Butera. Pretty interesting family moment. First opportunity the family's had to be together and watch Drew play here at Rogers Center.
Who is Sal rooting for right now? He works for Toronto.
I wouldn't ask him that. And it's a great family moment. Sal is Blue Jays advanced scout. He's out traveling a lot, but he had a chance to come back when the Twins are in town, and Drew gets a start here tonight.
He's a great kid, too. I've had a pleasure of meeting him the last couple of days here at the hotel.
Ground ball right side. Overbay will take it and beat Butera to the bag. J.J. Hardy moves to third. So the Twins will turn the lineup over. Butera grounds out to first. And there are 2 outs. Leadoff batter Jason Repko will bat. Repko lined to third base the last time up.
I thought that was at HBL 5.
It was an HBL 5.
Okay. The humpback liner to the third baseman.
You got to have those things every once in a while just to remind yourself. HBO 5. Cecil throws the first pitch strike. Blue Jays lead it 5-0. Inside off the plate. Brett Cecil, last time out against the Yankees, issued 6 walks. But minimized the impact of those walks. Only one of those walks came in to score. Certainly the turning point in that game for him was the bases loaded, nobody out situation that he pitched his way through. That came in the 3rd inning. He got out of it. Yankees didn't score. Ground ball deep to short. Gonzalez unloads in a hurry. In time. Rip goes out at first. Gonzalez knew he had to unload in a hurry. Overbay digs it out of the dirt. And they in his glove. Bang bang called it first. Ron Gardenhire went out after the inning to plead his case to DJ Rayburn, the first base umpire, but managers lose another one. Brendan Well swings and misses at a breaking ball. A ball and a strike. Outside fastball. It'll be interesting to watch what kind of adjustment Baker tries to make here. Blue Jays scored 4 runs on 5 hits in the second inning. Just couldn't get the ball down and away effective enough.
He might use more changeups and more sliders in this inning than what we saw before. He's already thrown 1 changeup to Vernon Wells, just to give him a little something extra to think about. You try and pitch inside. There's a couple of different things that you can do, but you can't throw that belt-high fastball over the middle of the plate.
Gets him on a breaking ball, down and away. Got that pitch in a very good spot. Wells strikes out to start the third.
Breaking ball. Looks like a fastball coming over the outside part of the plate. Vernon Wells can't hold up as you see it dip down for the strikeout, his second of the night.
Adam Lynn hit a breaking ball out of the ballpark back in the second inning. Fastball just missed down and away. For Lynn, it's his 11th home run of the season. He's now driven in 38. Another good fastball. Better location with the fastball this inning so far.
Yeah, throwing it to a spot. And I think the Blue Jays should be ready to get up there and hit. Scott Baker doesn't walk too many batters. Like a lot of these Minnesota Twins pitchers, they don't walk anybody. He makes a mistake here to Lynn, a breaking ball that backs up and over the middle of the plate. Wanted that ball a little bit more in, but it's over the middle of the plate.
Another fastball away. Evens the count at 2-2.
Baker hasn't walked a batter in 3 starts. So he has been around the plate. The last time he walked a batter was back on June the 16th in Colorado. That might match up nicely for the Blue Jays, the way they attack. the baseball when they're in the batter's box.
Well, and the one thing you know as a hitter in this situation, Baker's going to throw you a strike. It's going to be some kind of strike, breaking ball, fastball, but you better be ready to hit. Full count. Elevated to fastball and strikes out Lynn. Back-to-back strikeouts here in the third.
Working a little bit more quick this inning. More confident out on the mound. That time he gets that one by Lynn. Still catches too much of the plate. But it works to his advantage that time.
Aaron Hill singled on the first pitch he saw tonight in the second inning. Line to base hit to left field. Change up, starts the at bat. As Pat mentioned, Hill missed 3 games in 4 days, plagued by food poisoning. Is now starting to regain his strength. Right field and hit hard. Kobo back on the warning track, and he'll turn around and make the catch. Hill gave it a ride, but it hung up in the air. Baker gets out of the third, 3 up. On Lake Ontario, not far from Rogers Center. So far, beautiful evening for the Blue Jays. 5 runs on 6 hits. They pounded out 2 more home runs in the early going here tonight. And Brett Cecil has held the Minnesota Twins to just a 1-out double. Orlando Hudson had a home run, a single, and a triple in last night's game. Set to face Brett Cecil. High breaking ball for a strike. Late on a fastball, found out of play. We mentioned Brett Cecil had won 5 games in a row. Back in May, he beat Seattle, the Angels out on the West Coast, then beat the Orioles, the Yankees here, and then capped it off by beating the Rays in Tampa Bay. Pretty good ball clubs he beat during that stretch.
Yeah, Angels you mentioned, at Seattle, some road games. In every one of those games, he went deep into the game and he commanded his changeup.
Which he did right there to Orlando Hudson. Good changeup down and away. Cecil strikes out Hudson to start the 4th.
First strikeout of the night for Brett Cecil. And that's what they are looking for. A changeup that stays over the plate. They don't want it fading. They want action in the strike zone, and that's exactly what Cecil gets there. A good changeup. It's over the plate, but it just drops right off of the table for his first strikeout.
So Cecil, one out here in the fourth, will face Joe Mauer, who's the DH tonight. Breaking ball hangs up out of the zone. Mauer's hit .327 as a DH for his career. He's had 90 starts in the DH role. High fastball for a strike. So he's one of those guys that can go back and forth transition without really missing a beat. .327 is right about his career batting average.
He signed a long-term contract with Minnesota. Do you see a position change at some point in his career?
You know, maybe down the road, but I think the value of Joe Mauer is that he gives you the offense plus the defensive aspect of the game at catcher.
I agree.
I wouldn't change him until physically it wears on him.
Right. Not now. I think it was an 8-year contract for Mauer.
Broken back grounder to Aaron Hill, and Mauer's retired 2 quick outs. But no, I would keep Joe Mauer right where he is.
Yeah, he is so valuable, calling games, running the game, catch and throw, and then you throw in the offense.
What a presence behind the plate. You know, he's a big guy. He's a leader. He was a quarterback prospect in high school. Signed a letter of intent to play quarterback at Florida State. These guys don't come along very often. Just leave them alone. So 2 outs now for Michael Cuddyer. First pitch inside. Cuddyer is the first baseman tonight. If you're wondering where Justin Morneau is he got hit in the head in the game last night, sliding into second base. And they took him out of the game last night and just held him out here this evening just for precautionary reasons. They list him as day-to-day. But he was a little groggy when he walked off the field last night, took a knee to the head. And Ron Gardner obviously wanting to protect all of his players, but especially anymore with a head injury, they're really extra cautious.
That happened in the 8th inning, so I believe he missed the 9th inning. Total accident at second base. John McDonough was completing the double play, and his knee hit the head of Morneau and knocked him a little silly.
3 balls and a strike. Cuddyer hits it hard left field. This ball is over the wall and into the seats. Michael Cuddyer has just hit his 8th home run of the season. Just the second hit allowed by Brett Cecil, and the Twins are on the board.
He has had seasons of 30 home runs and 100 RBIs. Cuddyer with a nice short swing. The ball really jumps off of his bat. He's an RBI man. Cecil wants this ball down and away, and it's right in the power stroke right there of Cuddyer, and he doesn't miss it. Home run number 8.
Well, Delman Young moved up into the 5th spot tonight, batting behind Cuddyer. Joe Vavra enjoying that Cuddyer home run. Vavra's the hitting coach. Another drive center field, but this one will hang up. Vernon Wells got plenty of room and makes the catch to retire Delman Young. But the Twins Blue Jays in the bottom of the fourth. Blue Jays lead at 5-1. Boy, the home runs have been flying out during this series. 3 more home runs here tonight.
We thought something like that might happen when the Blue Jays, with all their home runs, get to face a team like the Minnesota Twins, who have a staff full of fly ball pitchers. Kevin Slowey's a fly ball pitcher. Baker, they didn't see Blackburn. He's a fly ball pitcher. The one they're going to miss in this series is Liriano. I would not classify him as a fly ball pitcher.
He is pitcher capitalized. Overbay pops it down the left side, out of play. Teams combined for 6 home runs in the opener. Both of them had 3 apiece, and then they each had 2 more home runs, each 4 home runs in last night's game. 10 through the first 2 and 3 more tonight. 13 home runs in this series. Overbay drills it to center field. Ripko is right there and makes the catch. Check in with Sam Cosentino.
Enjoy the rest of the 2010 baseball season with MLB.tv. Watch out-of-market games live or on demand in HD quality. Packages are now just $79.95 for the remainder of the season. Visit BlueJays.com for more details on MLB.tv.
I think second half of the season is going to be terrific. A lot of pennant races in both leagues. A lot of teams thinking about how they can improve their ball clubs. Certainly a lot of talk about Cliff Lee and where he might end up after the All-Star break. Roy Oswalt pitched well today. His name's been talked about. I just think there's an awful lot of good pennant races developing in both leagues.
In every division, and it's not just 1, 2 teams. There's 3 teams, I think, in the American League Central right now. Detroit, Chicago, Minnesota, all separated by just a game and a half.
Minnesota will go from here to Detroit to finish up their first half season. Play the Tigers a 3-game series before the All-Star break. Edwin Encarnacion, a ball and 2 strikes. There's a ball in the dirt. You look at Atlanta, New York, Philadelphia. Philadelphia better dig their heels in a little bit. They are now 6 games back in 3rd place behind the Braves and the Mets.
They need to get healthy.
They might have to pull the trigger on a trade.
Yeah.
2 balls and 2 strikes. On the ground. J.J. Hardy waits for it and throws out Encarnacion. 2 outs. Scott Baker is right at the ship momentarily.
6 in a row now for Scott Baker, working quicker, throwing better quality pitches. And his pitches are down now in the strike zone.
National League West, another interesting divisional race. San Francisco's starting to heat up. Boy, they had a big night last night against the Brewers, won 15-2. They are 5 games back, although they're in 4th place. San Diego leads it by 3. And then Colorado and the Dodgers are tied, 3 games back. Jose Molina fouls one off.
The division of the pitching out there in the National League West. Great pitching staff. So if you think one of those teams are going to make a move, it's probably for a hitter.
The ball and a strike to Molina. San Diego, they have really pitched well all year long. They lead the National League with a 3.14 team ERA. But they are near the bottom in runs scored. Molina hits another ground ball to short. Quick inning again. 3 up, 3 down. Bottom third of the order. Yeah, the first 10,000 fans will receive a Blue Jays sports bag, courtesy of Mr. Sun. For ticket information, call 416-341-1234. Or you can log on to BlueJays.com, or you can stop by most Rogers Plus locations for tickets. Jason Kubel takes a first pitch breaking ball from Brett Cecil. It'll be Kubel, Valencia, and J.J. Hardy to bat against Cecil here in the fifth.
Kubel can hit.
Funky swing and a breaking ball there.
I was just going to say, he is a good hitter. He hit 300 last year, and Cecil made him look really silly on that breaking ball. Not real sure of that swing.
Fastball to Overbay. Big bounce in. The first baseman will step on the bag. One out here in the fifth.
Brett Cecil has really handled left-handed hitters this year. We talked about it a little bit in his last start. Lefties hitting just $160 against him. He has given up just 13 hits all season to a left-handed batter.
Well, that's what you want to see, because so many left-handers rely on that running change-up that runs back in left-handers, and they really don't have that effective breaking pitch like Cecil. Danny Valencia flied out to center his first time up. The breaking ball off the plate. 2 balls and no strikes. Blue Jays jumped out on top. Fred Lewis hit his 4th career leadoff home run against Scott Baker. His 5th home run of the season. There's a strike. And then the Blue Jays scored 4 runs on 5 hits, including Adam Lynn's 11th home run of the season, and a bases clearing double by Alex Gonzalez. Again, Cecil appears to be pushing that ball to the plate, not really staying tall through his delivery.
That is the key. That's what the pitching coaches will be trying to see from Brett Cecil. If he stays tall, stays on top of that ball, it makes it go down on a downward plane. Not a bad pitch there.
1 out walk. First walk issued by Cecil.
He told me in New York that Sean Markham has really helped him a lot working on staying on top of the ball when they are throwing in the outfield in between starts. He has Markham take a look at him and make sure that he works that ball and keeps his hand on top of the ball. That is so key for such a young player to have that feel.
And if you think that's unusual, pitchers play catch with each other as they're loosening up for the day, and one of them will get down in catcher's position and just take a look at the pitches and see the flight of the ball, watch the release and the hand coming through the pitches. Just kind of a self-evaluation. Okay, now I'm going to get down and I'll catch you, and then they'll reverse it and throw back and forth with their pitches just to get an idea what the change-ups look like, what the angle looks like.
And Sean Markham is so good at that too, working with the pitchers about certain grips, strategies. How do you throw your curveball, or how do you hold your changeup? Let's compare notes and see if we can come up with something better.
Yeah, good pitching staffs always have a couple of guys like that like to talk shop, just sit around and shoot the breeze about what they do on the mound. Fly ball down the right field line, but that's going to slice back into the seats. I mean, there wasn't a better. Wow, what was that? What a catch, came out of nowhere to make that grab.
Looked like Dwayne Wise playing center field the last few nights here, going over his head. What a catch.
Bouncing ball towards second. Hill steps on the bag, throws to first base and in the dirt. Had a little more time than he thought. J.J. Hardy bounced the ball right to second base. Hill stepped on the bag for the force out, but then his throw was low in the dirt, and Overbay couldn't dig it out.
Didn't have his feet underneath him when he let go of the ball. Catches it. This is Taylor May. Watch his feet. Throws off of that back foot, and it sails right into the ground, and Overbay can't come up with it. You got plenty of time. Stay right on that bag. Use that bag as a defender. Plant that back foot and throw towards first base, and you can finish it off. Went a little bit too quick that time.
2 outs. Number 9 hitter Drew Butera bats with a man on. 5-1 Blue Jays. Down and away for a ball. Butera has a home run. Came during interleague play against the Philadelphia Phillies. Swings and misses on a breaking ball down and in. Brett Cecil much sharper here tonight in the early going than what we saw last time out on Friday against the Yankees. He's only walked 1 here tonight. Missed with that pitch down and away. Had 6 walks in his last outing against New York. But as we mentioned, he really minimized the damage. As only 1 of those walks came in to score. Bouncing ball towards short. Gonzalez will flip to Hill at second base. Twins are retired. We had played 4 for 2 with a single and scored a run. Scott Baker continues to have problems on the road.
1-5 with an ERA of 6.5 coming into this game. 4 innings, 6 hits, 5 earned runs. He has settled down, though. He's retired the last 7 batters. And Delman Young, is there anybody hotter? Last 30 games, he has 30 RBIs, 0 for 2 tonight.
Hitting .360 over that 30-game stretch. Fred Lewis, a home run and a strikeout. His 5th home run of the season as a leadoff batter. Big bouncing ball to Orlando Hudson. Almost threw it over Cuddier's head. Little flip kind of got away from him. 1 out here in the 5th. Boy, Scott Baker's made some very positive adjustments after the Alex Gonzalez 3-run double to center field. Blue Jays haven't had a base run.
Yeah, he seems to work a little bit more quick. He seems to be using his changeup a little bit more in his slider. that one inning where he gave up the 4 runs and the 5 hits. It was fastball, fastball, fastball that he was getting ripped on.
There's a breaking ball on the corner. Ball and a strike to Alex Gonzalez. Missed with that breaking pitch. Scott Baker got hit hard in the 2nd inning. Gave up 4 runs on 5 hits. A solo home run to Lind, and then the 3-run double to Gonzalez. Gonzalez pops this one up back behind the screen. Now to play. We're in the 5th inning. Twins run came off the bat of Michael Cuddyer. A 2-out home run in the 4th, Cuddyer's 8th of the season. Good job by Gonzalez to foul off that breaking pitch. Going upstairs with a fastball. Gonzalez hit that fastball for the double off the wall in center field. It was a high fastball, though it was out over the plate.
0-2 pitch. I'm sure Baker would like to have that one back because it caught too much of the plate right in the eyes of Gonzalez.
Line drive right to J.J. Hardy at shortstop. Two outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Jose Bautista has grounded out twice. Ball bounced up the 3rd baseline. We talk about Bautista, and we mentioned that he was a little pull conscious, but staying back on the ball, trying to focus back up the middle. That approach served him well early in the season.
The average was higher, and of course the home runs were higher. The one thing that we have noticed about Bautista, especially in the month of June, is how patient he was. Pitchers tried different things to him. Very rarely did he go outside the strike zone. He would take his walk when he had to.
It's underneath this ball. It's hitting a mile high, but it's going to come down on the warning track. Short of the wall in center field. Bautista just missed it. Scott Baker has straightened things out.
first 2 innings, but he has settled down nicely, retiring 10 batters in a row. Brett Cecil, on the other hand, has not pitched past the 7th inning since June the 4th. He is well on his way now as he works into the 6th inning. 5 innings, just 2 hits, a run. That came on a home run by Cuddyer. And more importantly for Brett Cecil, just 1 base on ball.
Yeah, that's a good number for Cecil as he set to work here in the 6th. That was a first pitch strike to Jason Repko. Repko getting the start in center field tonight. His first start in this series. Curveball, just foul at third. But Cecil ahead, no balls and 2 strikes. A good breaking ball, just missed the inside corner. Repko started with the Dodgers. There's a little flare into right field. That'll get down in front of Bautista. Leadoff base hit. Check in with Sam Cosentino.
Well, Buck, if you're a Canadian baseball fan, and more importantly a Joey Votto baseball fan, then you'll be happy to know that he has won the final vote in the National League. He generated 13.7 million votes. He hit his 22nd home run in the first inning tonight. As well, Nick Swisher won the final man vote of the New York Yankees. He was a triple shy of the cycle in a 6-4 win for the Yanks over Oakland last night. So congratulations to Joey Votto.
Congratulations to Joey Votto, and congratulations to the fans for getting it right.
They did get it right.
They did. Joey Votto needed to go to the All-Star game. The Reds are having a great season. Joey Votto has been instrumental in that. And we get to see another Canadian at the All-Star game. That's awesome. Orlando Hudson takes the pitch inside. 22nd home run for Joey Votto. And he has had some season. The Reds are out on top of the Central Division by 3 games over the Cardinals. Nick Swisher also going to the All-Star game. He was the American League final man vote winner. He's had a good year too.
Yeah, he certainly has, playing for the New York Yankees in that big market. They really had a push for him in New York when we were there over the weekend. They had commercials running on the big screen there at Yankee Stadium, really pushing Swisher to the All-Star game. But his numbers really make him deserving to go to the All-Star game.
Absolutely. He certainly has earned the right to represent the American League and the Yankees. Orlando Hudson, big bouncing ball. Gonzalez quickly to second. What a double play. Aaron Hill really hung in there with Jeff Repko bearing down on him. Gonzalez gave him a very good feed on a tough angle. And Hill hangs in there.
The whole key to that is Alex Gonzalez got to that ball quickly. He charged it quickly, aggressively. He made the good feed, like you say, and watch Hill stay right in there. Use the bag as a defender. Repko has to go over the bag to get to Hill. He stays in there and turns a tough double play.
Boy, Gonzalez came even to the baseline and then threw back across his body right in Aaron Hill's stomach. Perfect feed. And Cecil takes advantage of the double play and throws a first pitch strike to Mauer.
If Gonzalez lays back on that ball, they don't turn that double play.
He might not even catch it.
Yep.
Might bounce by him and take that extra little hop. Line drive left field. Fred Lewis over, makes the catch. Well, what a turnaround inning for Brett Cecil. Leadoff base hit, double play, and a line drive. Star coverage with the home run contest. Vernon Wells will be featured in that home run contest, and possibly even Jose Bautista, but Wells has already committed. Breaking pitch, down and away for a ball. Wells struck out on a breaking ball from Scott Baker his last time up in the third. Base hit right field. Stayed on that inside fastball and just went with the pitch.
And Orlando Hudson, the second baseman, really playing Vernon Wells to pull, playing him almost right up the middle. Vernon Wells will cross up with defense. Look where Hudson is playing. There's a huge hole on the right side. Did you see Orlando's reaction? His buddy Vernon Wells crossed him up and got a base hit by him.
Yeah, he's thinking, Vernon, you're supposed to pull that ball. That's why I'm shaded up the middle. So Wells starts things off in the sixth, sets the table for Adam Lind. Up and away.
Now if he is thinking about pulling the ball, this would be a good time to do it. You got a runner on base. There's a huge hole on the right side once again. If Baker tries to come in there or spins a breaking ball, get out there and hook one into right field.
Off the plate away, and Lynn went after it. What about the thought process of changing too much between your approach? You want him to stay up the middle and then all of a sudden now pull, or do you think you just have to play to the situation?
I like playing to the situation, giving yourself one shot, just one shot at doing that. That might have been the pitch right there, and then you can go back. Great hitters do that all the time. Rod Carew used to do that all the time. I'd be over there holding a guy on first base, and I'd be watching him, and he'd be looking, oh, there's a big one. He'd get out there and hook a ball in there. The Angels will play first and third.
Yeah, but there are not too many Rod Carews around.
That's true. I'll give you that.
Boy, he was something, wasn't he? He could really handle that bat. A ball and 2 strikes. Fouled back. Now, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, you'll see great hitters that just take one pitch, take a shot at that hole. I don't think Adam Lind is that kind of hitter. I think right now you just want him to get a good pitch to hit and try to square it up. Don't think about how far you're going to hit it. Think about how hard you're going to hit it. Yeah.
I think if he was hitting 320,
yeah, then he could do it.
Then he could do it.
Absolutely. I agree with that 100%. High fastball. Lind goes down swinging. 4th strikeout for Scott Baker. He elevates that fastball again.
Every one of them swinging strikeouts tonight. He has had a nice 5-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio this season. He's had 4 strikeouts tonight. And now has a chance against Aaron Hill.
It's a 5-1 game with 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. Scott Baker has certainly settled down after a rough 2nd inning. That changeup really cut. That was a changeup that got on the side of it and cut down and away out of the strike zone. That's the aspect you were talking about referencing Brett Cecil. Changeup stays in the strike zone but goes down.
Stays over the plate. They don't want that ball to start on the plate and then go off of it.
There goes Vernon Wells. The throw from Butera. In time. Drew Butera is a terrific catch and throw guy, and you just saw a great example of that right there as he guns down Vernon Wells.
He certainly is. He was voted the top defensive catcher in the International League last year. His dad taught him well. Sal, an ex-catcher. The top defensive catcher in the International League last season. He's thrown out 50% of the base runners, and Vernon Wells can't get to the bat. Butera really quickly gets the ball down there.
Vernon had a good jump. He had a good jump. Hudson comes in front of the bag and puts a quick tag on Wells to call it, get him out, and good throw by Butera.
Minnesota Twins are blessed with a lot of catching depth from the Major League team on down through their AAA team. A lot like the Blue Jays have some catchers. These guys have some big-time prospects.
Yeah, Wilson Ramos is the guy everybody's talking about in connection to Cliff Lee in a possible Twins-Mariners trade. 2-2 pitch. Fly ball right field. Kubel has plenty of room, and Hill's retired. Quick inning. Good strong throw from Drew Butera. Nails Vernon Wells.
A shop at Sears, located at Yonge and Dundas. Visit BlueJays.com for more details on the Brandon Morrow autograph signing tomorrow.
Well, this ball club is loaded with good young character ball players, and Brandon Morrow is certainly one of those. And great upside to his pitching, in my mind. I think there are a bunch of guys who got a chance to be front of the rotation starters on this ball club, and Morrow was one of them. Michael Cuddyer left the yard his last time up. That came in the 4th inning with 2 outs. Home run number 8 for Cuddyer. There's that changeup that ran off the plate, not on the side of it.
The one that fades away from the right-hander. That's not the one they want to see.
Cuddyer to third base. Encarnacion rights himself and throws his strike. Now let's take a look at the Red Sox series. You can see the Red Sox come in Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That'll be the final series before the All-Star break. And then the Blue Jays will have 4 days off for the All-Star break before they resume the second half.
They are now 4 games under 500 on the road. So when they go out on the road, a chance to get back on it. They got off to such a great start on the road this season. That was one of the big points when the season started.
Delman Young lines it to left field, and that's not going to be caught up against the wall. Young around first, headed for second. Does he hit anything but line drives?
We've seen 2 hard hit balls to center field and not wasting any time. Watch how quiet his swing is. He is going to get his legs into it. He's in a little bit more of a crouch. He is spread out a little bit, and he's always been really strong. This is a one-hop P to the 375 sign in left field for his 24th double.
A 1-out double. Jason Kubel 0 for 2 so far tonight. Breaking ball down and away. Molina not going to waste any time. Runs right out to have a chat with his left-hander.
This team is filled with hitters, I think. The Minnesota Twins. Jason Kubel. He's a guy in 2004 hit 343 in AAA. Looked like he was ready to play in the big leagues until he went to the Arizona Fall League and blew his knee out. He tore his anterior cruciate and his posterior cruciate in his left leg, and I think it robbed him of his power, and it's taken him a couple of years to come back.
It was a career-threatening injury. It was so severe. There were some concerns about whether or not he'd be able to pick it up. pops that ball out of play.
It was his left leg, and we all know that that's that push-off leg for a left-handed batter. That's the one that he blew out, and it robbed him of his power. Kubel didn't start hitting home runs again. He set out of 2005, hit 8 in 2006. And then last year, he really came out with 28 home runs and 103 RBI.
Well, you and I both remember how many hitters the Twins have produced over the years, and I go back certainly well before you, but you had Carew and Oliva and Killebrew and all those great hitters, and then you had Puckett and Herbeck and Gaetti. They had hitters all over the organization. And Kubel was one of those guys, a homegrown guy, and you just knew it was a matter of time before he was going to take his spot as a regular. And then he had that setback with the knee injury. Yeah,
and not just the great power and the production. In the minor leagues, this guy had a season where he hit 370. He had the 340 season in AAA, 330 in A-ball.
Good breaking ball right on the corner. Kubel didn't think so. He's going to discuss it with Darryl Cousins. Had a pretty good look at it. Breaking ball on the outside corner. Good pitch by Cecil.
Watch the sweep to the breaking ball. And Molina does a good job of keeping it right there for Darryl Cousins to take a good look at it. I think Kubel thought that one's up and maybe out.
Only the second strikeout tonight for Brett Cecil. But he shut down the Twins very effectively. There's 1 run on 4 hits. Delman Young at second with 2 outs. Danny Valencia, the third baseman. Swings at the first pitch, taps it right back to Cecil. Valencia's retired. The Twins strand a run. Through 7 innings, Brett Cecil. The Twins a pretty good start over 6 innings. This pitching line is brought to you by MLB 10, the show only on PlayStation.
He certainly did figure it out after that second inning, retiring every batter but one from the end of the second inning through the end of the 6th inning. 6 innings, 7 hits, 5 earned runs. He did not walk a batter. That's the 4th straight start that Scott Baker has not walked a batter. He will give way now to Alex Burnett, who comes into the ball game for the Minnesota Twins for the 32nd time this season.
First time Burnett has pitched in this series. Pretty effective Burnett has been for the Twins. And there's a drive to center field. There's a Repko on the warning track at the wall. This ball is gone. Overman has just hit it out of the ballpark. His 10th home run of the season. And the Blue Jays now have 8 hitters with 10 or more home runs. That leads the majors.
you said earlier in the game that the ball was really carrying tonight. There is no way that I thought Lyle Overbay got all of this. Burnett's got a good fastball. He throws a first pitch fastball, and it looked like a fly ball to center field. But Repko kept going back and back and back, and finally runs out of room right in front of that scoreboard for the home run.
Breaking ball for a strike to Encarnacion. What a different hitter Overbay has been for the last 2 months.
Aggressive early in the count. That's what Dwayne Murphy told me yesterday about Overbay. First pitch, fastball, see ya.
For so long, this organization was preached to about taking pitches, being patient, get on base, walk. Cito Gaston said, I want to see that. Swing the bat.
Swing it when it's in the strike zone.
Get a good pitch, have a game plan, and think fastball. Cito Gaston always been a proponent of that, going back to his first year here in 1982 as the Blue Jays hitting coach. Lyle Overbay, his 10th. You played on their World Series teams, and you understand how Cito really impacted the hitting approach of that great bunch of guys.
How about Devon White?
Turned his career around. Encarnacion chases a breaking pitch, first out of the inning. When we talk about Overbay hitting his 10th home run, Blue Jays now have 8 hitters with 10 or more home runs. First time in franchise history that the Blue Jays have had 8 players with 10 or more home runs before the break.
We're going to have a couple of more, I think, before this season is over. Travis Snyder is at 6. We were supposed to see him after the All-Star break. He was just getting warmed up when he got hurt.
20 years Bautista's had, Encarnacion has 10. And there's home runs up down. I think you remember back, everybody looked at Cito Gaston cross-eyed. We said, I think I've got 6 guys here that are going to hit 20 home runs. He might have underestimated.
Everybody, their eyebrows went, huh? 6. Well, they're on pace for 8 right now.
There's a drive to left field. Jose Molina has just left the yard. Home run number 1 for Jose Molina. He crushed that ball.
You want a definition of a hanging breaking ball and how to hit it. Watch this one. Hanger, ripped. Pulled to left field. Molina has been swinging a hot bat over the last 2 or 3 weeks. He has done a great job behind the plate, throwing out base runners, and now the bat is starting to come around. Home run number 1 for Jose.
Now he is joined the list of home run hitters on this team. Fred Lewis has gone deep tonight. Molina's first of the season. Blue Jays have now hit 4 home runs tonight. They have hit 9 in the series. No place like home.
Yeah. Cleveland was no home. They didn't hit a home run that whole series in Cleveland. Went to New York, and I don't know if it were all the day games in New York or what it was, but the stroke started coming back.
Well, the pitchers have had the upper hand most of this season all around baseball. We have talked about Ubaldo Jimenez, now Josh Johnson, all the great starters. David Price has 12 wins. I think the hitters are starting to play catch-up.
Even Roy Halladay looks a little human.
Popped up, playable. Third baseman Valencia makes the catch, 2 outs. Now the home runs have been flying out around baseball of late, and you see the Blue Jays, when they don't home run, just 6 and 20, and it's all real positive when you start having those multiple home run games.
3, 4, look at that, 15 and 5. If you add those 2 numbers together.
Drive down the left field line. This ball is caught by Delman Young. Got a good jump on it and takes extra bases away from Alex Gonzalez. But the Blue Jays pound down. Jays lead it 7-1. New pitcher for the Blue Jays will be Casey Janssen. That was a first pitch up and in.
Casey Janssen last worked 5 days ago against New York, where he had 3 strikeouts. Good numbers all the way around for Janssen. He is putting together a pretty decent season, averaging now over a strikeout per inning, and he's not walking people. That is something that Cito Gaston puts a big high priority on.
Popped out of play. Janssen had that real hiccup in Chicago where he walked in 2 runs with the bases loaded, and that elevated that walk total. And he's been throwing strikes all year long.
Yeah, he certainly has. Struck out over 20 in his last 16 appearances, or 16 innings. And I talked to him after that game in Chicago, and he said, you know, I want to be known as a reliever that a manager can count on, that can come in and throw strikes. And when he had that meltdown in Chicago, he felt terrible the next day. But we all know that Janssen works very hard, works very quickly, and is a strike thrower.
Check swing. He appealed down to first. DJ Rayburn said no swing. Hardy looked like he went around at the curveball. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Casey Janssen working to his first batter. He's on in relief of Brett Cecil, who had a great start here tonight. Fastball popped up, out of play. Jose Molina did a good job of working with Cecil here tonight and got him through 7 good innings. He also hit his first home run of the season. And the breaking ball, Hardy's able to lay off on.
Cecil stayed on top of the ball tonight. Really worked on that downward plane, the return of his changeup. Now, he didn't have as many strikeouts, but that's okay. They staked him to a lead. He needed innings. He gave him length in this game, so the bullpen only needs 2 innings.
Bounced foul. There's certainly a time and a place for strikeouts, but I'm sure Cito Gaston would trade strikeouts for an efficient effort from a starter deep into the game. 7, 8 innings.
89 pitches, I believe he threw. And he got him through 7. So it's what you are looking for.
Line drive into left field over the glove of Encarnacion. Hardy around first. He'll stop there. Leadoff base hit for the Twins. Takes a look at the pitching line for Brett Cecil. 7 strong innings.
4 hits and the 1 earned run. Again, the last time he worked 7 innings, you have to go all the way back to June the 4th. That was versus the Yankees when he won that game, when he threw 8 innings in that game. Tonight, very efficient, 89 pitches to get through 7.
The catcher, Drew Butera, 0 for 2. Jansen misses away. Butera starting tonight behind the plate. Joe Mauer gets the night off as Mauer plays the role of the DH. Two balls and no strikes. Talk about Casey Jansen, a strike thrower, and Molina felt the same way and said, let's go out here and talk things over a bit. Got a comfortable lead. Got to have a pitch or two that you can throw for a strike in this situation.
He does a good job of acting like a pitching coach also, Molina. He can pick up certain things that a pitcher is doing. Maybe they're flying open a little bit too quickly. His arm doesn't get up, whatever. He does a good job of picking those things out with his pitcher and getting the wheels back on the track.
Well, in his own words, he says he learned from the best. Came up with Mike Scioscia with the Angels, and he and his brother Benji were teammates in Anaheim. And Scioscia raises the bar very high for catchers. And Molina has had a nice career with that solid foundation. 3 balls and no strikes to the number 9 batter. Jansen pours the fastball in there. Another fastball at the knees. Full count. Man at first, nobody out. Twins batting in the 8th. Popped out of play. Hardy was on the move. Twins just trying to create some movement on the infield by starting J.J. Hardy at first. Hardy not going. Ground ball to short. Gonzalez to second for 1. Hill to first. Double play. For a second time tonight, leadoff base hit is erased by a double play. Another 6-4-3 double play in the beauty.
And a pitcher comes right back and gets him. Fastball, sinking fastball in the inner half. Get it on the ground and let your infielders do the rest. The Twins do not send the runner on that 3-2 pitch, and it cost them. Double play started by Gonzalez, finished by Hill and Overbeck.
Second turn tonight around the horn. 6-4-3. 2 outs. Leadoff batter Jason Ripko. Ripko had a single his last time up. It's a challenge for pitchers like Jansen who don't get to pitch on a regular basis just to maintain their control, but he knows what he's got to do. Blue Jays pitchers don't necessarily throw a lot down in the bullpen when they're not pitching, just enough to kind of smooth out the rough edges.
He'll throw to get loose during batting practice and before batting practice. It's been 5 days again since Jansen was on the mound.
Fly ball, center field. Vernon Wells Just shy of the warning track, makes the catch. Casey Jansen comes on and induces. Back here at Rogers Center, we are headed to the bottom of the 8th inning with the Blue Jays up 7-1. Again tonight, the home run playing a big part of their offense. 4 home runs again tonight. Brock Mayhay, the new pitcher, left-hander, the veteran, comes out to pitch the 8th inning.
Here's Mayhay in his 9th season. You talk about the veteran, he's been around. 0-1 in his 27 games this year. Mayhay has pitched for a lot of teams. He's pitched for Boston, Florida organization, Oakland, Chicago, Cubs, Texas, Atlanta, Kansas City, and now Minnesota. But it's when he was with Texas, put up some good numbers, and he was part of a big deal.
Mayhay went with Mark Teixeira from the Texas Rangers to Atlanta, and part of that 7-player deal that the Rangers had to move Teixeira, and they moved him to Atlanta. Long drive left field. This is a line drive home run. Jose Bautista. 5 home runs tonight for the Blue Jays. 23. Bautista now leads the majors.
Wow. Bautista dropping some head on a pitch from Mayhay down, and he goes down and gets it. See him grit his teeth and just rip that ball to left field on a line just over the wall. 5 home runs now for the Blue Jays. If you're wondering what their record is this year, the most they've hit, it's 6 when they were in Arizona.
23 home runs, 55 RBI, headed to the All-Star game.
Just adding on. So those numbers look real pretty next week.
Joey Votto had tied Bautista for the Major League lead with his 22nd home run tonight, and Bautista has retaken the lead. Inside the Parker last night, no need to run on that one. Vernon Wells chases a breaking pitch down. A strikeout, 1 out here in the 8th. Commentator clothing provided in part by Zinnia. Statistical information provided by Stats Inc. Music provided by Universal Canada. We mentioned the Blue Jays needed a laugher, and boy, they have had one here tonight. 8 runs on 10 hits and 5 home runs. Adam Lind has one of the 5.
10 now in the series. 10 for the Blue Jays.
10 home runs in 3 games. And you mentioned that 5-game drought that included the 4 games in Cleveland. 5 games without a home run. And now 10 home runs in 3 games.
You know, you mentioned that trade between Texas and Atlanta. I remember when that trade was made, and I said, wow, Atlanta stole Mark Teixeira.
Adam Lind strikes out. Back-to-back strikeouts for Mayhew.
Stolen from the Texas Rangers because we didn't know anybody who was involved in that deal.
Yeah, Teixeira was the big guy, obviously. The Braves were trying to win the pennant. They ended up 5 games behind the Phillies. That didn't work. Teixeira left the free agency. But the Rangers got Matt Harrison, Bo Jones, and Jared Saltalamacchia. And Saltalamacchia was probably the key player for them at that time.
That was the big name at the time.
And then we heard about 2 kids. Wow, those 2 kids are an A-ball. We won't know what they are. Well, the 2 kids, Neftali Felice, their closer, and Elvis Andrews, their shortstop.
Both of them going to Anaheim?
Both of them going to the All-Star game.
That's why it takes a couple of years for those things to work themselves out. Atlanta gives up 2 All-Stars for a guy they rented for a couple of months.
Yeah. And they were leery of giving up Feliz. He had a huge arm, still does. Elvis Andrews is a magician at shortstop. And they're both going to the All-Star game. That's the kind of trade you want when you're under the gun to trade a free agent, an impending free agent.
And that's why your scouts are so important. Your baseball guys, they have to be able to see those guys down in A-ball and say, projection, this guy is going to help the major league team. It might take 2 or 3 years, but they're going to help him.
When you have long-time scouts, those good old boys that'll sit in the room and say, partner, these kids are going to be all-stars. That's what you're looking for. A ball and 2 strikes to Aaron Hill, and Drew Butera is going to go talk this over.
So far, so good, though, for the Blue Jays in the Roy Halladay trade. They've got some all-stars. Travis Bernard,
Travis d'Arnaud, and Kyle Drabek. And Drabek threw a no-hitter last week. He's in Double-A. d'Arnaud's in Dunedin. And that's the type of upside you want.
And they made their all-star teams, didn't they?
Yep.
In their respective leagues that they play in.
Down and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So that's the... You really have to give Texas a lot of credit. I mean, Neftali Felice and Elvis Andrews were just coming out of A-ball. So you didn't have an awful lot of contact with them. And that's why you have to have scouts that have been in your system for a long time, and you can trust their judgment that when they tell you something, you have to commit to it.
Yeah.
This is the best package. We're going to get 5 players, a major league ready catcher in Saltalamacchia, a major league ready starter in Matt Harrison, and maybe 2 all-stars. Full count, 2 outs here, bottom of the 8th inning. Fly ball into center off the end of the bat. Repko broke back, but he's got time to recover. And Hill is retired. But the major league leader in home runs.
2-0 Blue Jays, both of them on solo home runs. They're going to have the bases loaded and say, you know what, we can score runs other way. We don't have to get the ball out of the ballpark. Alex Gonzalez with a 3-run double. RBIs 45, 46, 47 come across the plate. Blows open the game really at that point, 5-0. Blue Jays really haven't looked back since.
Alex Gonzalez is a very consistent run producer all year long for the Blue Jays. What a sign bringing Alex Gonzalez here to Toronto. They've gotten a lot of bang for their buck. David Percy comes on to work the ninth inning. Blue Jays up 8-1. Casey Jansen had a good eighth inning of work, allowed a single and nothing more. Dwayne Wise takes over defensively in right field for Jose Bautista. Bautista gets the rest of the night off. David Percy delivers a first pitch strike to Orlando Hudson. The Twins have been held to 1 run on 5 hits. Late swing on a fastball.
Nothing new when Percy's been out there. Batters have been late getting around on that big fastball. Something they don't have from the left side late in the game. His fastball can get up there 94, 95 miles an hour. What an impression he has made on the Blue Jays staff since he has come back.
0-2 to Hudson. Foul back. Yeah, it's a pretty interesting pitching staff, and this is, you know, we're seeing a lot of good things happening with this team. Certainly the development of the young starters. David Percy maybe found his niche in the bullpen. More pitchers coming through the minor league system. Development of Kyle Drabek, Zach Stewart in AA, Robert Ray in AAA. Hudson checked his swing. J.P. Arancibia is on fire in AAA. 22 home runs. Popped up into right field. Dwayne Wise, with his great speed, makes an easy play of it. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. 1 out for Joe Mauer. Mauer hitless in 3 trips. Good fastball as Percy jumps ahead of Mauer. Average under 300. Lined out to left field his last time up.
Blue Jays have pitched Joe Mauer really tough in this series. 2 for 11 now in this series. He did hit a home run the other night. Stung the ball his last time up the left field, but Fred Lewis was able to make that play.
No balls and 2 strikes on Joe Mauer. Got him. High, hard breaking ball for the strikeouts. 2 outs here in the ninth. Be sure to stay tuned after the game for Sportsnet Connected with Martin Guyer and Ian Mendez. Full MLB highlights and LeBron James announcing where he's going to play basketball next year. You'll get a chance to catch up on all the action. Get connected right after the game. Twins down to their final out. Boy, the Blue Jays have had the upper hand in this matchup. Twins haven't won a series against the Blue Jays since 2007. A ball and a strike to Michael Cuddyer.
they win this game, they would have won now 17 of their last 22 matchups against Minnesota. And Minnesota is a very good team. Something about them brings out the best of the Blue Jays.
Well, I think you described it when you broke down their pitching staff. They throw a lot of strikes, they don't walk anybody, and they give up home runs.
Lots of fly ball pitchers. That matches up beautifully for what the Blue Jays do offensively.
Off-speed pitch. 2 balls and 2 strikes. He'll stop the plate inside. The Twins, on the other hand, have had a terrible time playing the American League East. If they lose this game, they'll drop to 9-15 against the East. 3-2 pitch. Foul back.
Welcome to the East.
Now, they have not played well against the East, and they will go into Detroit for a 3-game series after this game tonight. Blue Jays trying to win the series, 2 games to 1. David Percy trying to close it out.
Blue Jays trying to win a series since they beat San Francisco 2 out of 3 back in the middle of June. That was a long time ago. They lost the series to St. Louis, Philadelphia, Cleveland, New York, and are 1 strike away from winning this series.
Yeah, it's time to win a few series now. This ball club's got to start putting things together and have a real positive second half. Another full count pitch to Cuddyer, but he stays alive. You look at the second half of the season, it begins with Baltimore, Kansas City, Detroit, the opening road trip of the second half. Fly ball into left field. Fred Lewis has got a beat on it. He makes the catch. Blue Jays win it. David Percy has a good inning in the ninth. The 1-2-3 ninth. Jose Bautista hit Major League leading 23rd home run. The Blue Jays hit 5 long balls in the game tonight.
And the long ball in Alex Gonzalez, when he did in the second inning, that 3-run double really blew it open. It really helped Brett Cecil. I thought the return of him tonight, that was so good to see him pound the strike zone, give up just the 4 hits and the 1 run. The lone problem was the home run to Cuddyer, but good job by Cecil tonight.
Smiles all around. The Blue Jays win this series 2 games to 1.